नमस्ते न, नमस्ते टू एवरीवन। आज नवरात्रि ध्यान के 10th डे में आप सबका मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। आज हमारे साथ सीनियर पिरामिड मास्टर प्रदीप विजय जी ज्वाइन करेंगे और अपना लेक्चर जो लास्ट टाइम उन्होंने सैटरडे संडे को हमारे साथ क्लास लिया था वही कंटिन्यू करेंगे, अपने आगे की टॉक कंटिन्यू करेंगे। जो लोग नए ज्वाइन हुए हैं उनको बता दूं, डॉक्टर सर प्रदीप विजय सर सीनियर पिरामिड मास्टर हैं और बहुत सालों से पीएसएसएम मूवमेंट में हैं। वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया से उन्होंने हायर एजुकेशन किया था और फिर वो इनर कॉलिंग के चलते वो इंडिया आए और इंडिया आके पत्री जी के साथ बहुत साल बिताए उन्होंने। और एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम उनको एक डिवाइन क्रिस्टल भेंट किया गया और ये डिवाइन क्रिस्टल के साथ वो मेडिटेशन कराते हैं और ध्यान भी कराते हैं बहुत सारे लोगों को। कई सालों से बहुत सारे क्लासेस लेते हैं इंडिया में और ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड बहुत सारे क्लासेस ले चुके हैं। तो आइए आज उनका स्वागत करते हैं प्रदीप विजय जी का। प्रदीप विजय जी, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस। थैंक यू सर, यू आर वेलकम।
यस मैडम, थैंक यू। सब लोगों को नमस्कार। So we'll start with meditation. So first sit comfortably, drink some water. Remove your specs. Sit as comfortably as possible. Prepare yourself for meditation. And now I'm going to share my screen. So we're going to gaze the crystal. I'm going to virtually show the picture of the crystal. So we'll gaze it for 1 minute, for 60 seconds, without blinking the eyes. Let us witness, gaze into the crystal. Without blinking the eyes, let us look as deeply as possible into the crystal, connecting to the energy of the crystal, connecting to the consciousness of the crystal. The crystal is a wonderful tool which will help us to go deep in our meditation. Absolutely no thoughts whatsoever. Just a pure witness of crystal gazing. Now gently close your eyes. And let's completely forget about everything. Just observe your natural breath. The crystal will do its job. Our job is to be with our own breath, normal breath, natural breath. Just be with your natural breath, my dear friends. Please don't open your eyes. Let us do 1 hour meditation. Final 10 seconds. Gently place your eyes. Gently place your hands on your eyes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You may slowly open your eyes whenever you are ready and drink plenty of water. Okay, friends, so we have completed 1 hour of meditation. If you have any questions, we'll take it forward from here. So you may raise your hands if you have any questions or you want to share anything.
Sir, I have a question to begin with.
I understand just now you finished the crystal meditation. The energies are very intense and you don't want to open your mouth. You want to stay calm. I do understand that. But the session is going to be interactive. It's not going to be one way. So unless you ask a question or unless you share something, I'm not going to respond to it.
Sir, can you hear me? Sir, I had a question. Some days in meditation, we have more thoughts than other days. Sometimes in meditation, immediately we go into the silent state or the thoughtless state. And this is one question. And the second question is...
I missed out. Can you repeat, please?
Yes, sir. Sometimes during meditation, we have more thoughts. And we are in meditation, we are watching the thoughts, but there are more kids who are playing. Sometimes there are no kids who are playing. Sometimes there are too many kids, too many thoughts that are playing. So we are watching them, but they are there. There are too many of them. So, and we are also enjoying our meditation at the same time. The meditation is good. So what is this, how do we make sense of this?
It takes time. It takes time for you to completely empty your mind and get into that nirmal sthiti. So you have to continue. Practice, practice, practice. It takes years and years of practice.
Is it true that it takes years and years of practice for everyone, sir?
It depends on how much karmic baggage they have. It depends on how much mind programming they had. All the garbage has to be cleared. It depends on how much garbage anybody has. If a person is a pure soul without much garbage, he can quickly immediately empty the mind. If a person has too much garbage, then until the garbage is cleared, he has to continue. He has to be patient. So it is subjective. For different people, it is different. It depends on the number of past lives. It depends on the age of the soul. It depends on the karmic baggage. of the soul.
What is the age of the soul?
Like we have an age for the human body. Similarly, you have an age for the soul. Baby soul, infant soul, young soul, adult soul, mature soul, old soul, transcendental soul, infinite soul.
So do they have to go through those stages to become a mature soul, or can't a baby soul become a mature soul, or it has to go through that stages?
Can a newborn baby participate in Olympics?
No. But
Can
that's
a
a
newborn
physical,
baby?
but that's a physical thing.
Similarly, for the soul also, the soul has to learn a lot of lessons, and it has to mature. It has to go through a lot of experiences, and it has to learn. It has to learn what life is. It has to have the understanding of life. So it takes step by step. It's always a process, and there is no hierarchy about it, but that is the way it is.
So in the beginning, when it's a baby soul,
for example, a soul has taken only few lifetimes. Okay, the soul has taken only few lifetimes. So how much experience the soul will have compared to the soul which has taken 100 lifetimes? A soul which has taken only one lifetime and a soul which has taken 100 lifetimes. Compare these two. Which one will be more mature?
The 100 lifetimes one may be more mature in terms of what he has experienced in those 100 lifetimes.
When we speak about the age of the soul, what we mean is experience. Life experiences. The age of the soul depends on your life experiences.
Yes. Right. I will give another person a chance first.
First of all, are you convinced with your question?
Sir, there is one question, in my mind, that in the beginning we are one, then we become two. There is duality. And then we again want to become one through sadhana. But this time we want to be consciously one, aware one. Awareness, being aware of the oneness.
Don't you think it's an interesting game? Forgetting and remembering?
It's a very interesting game, sir. Forgetting is not interesting. It's also painful. It's also interesting. It's also everything, in between.
Sorry, for the soul, there is no pain. For the soul, everything is an experience. Before you are born, you perfectly know that the moment you go into the physical, you will completely forget. You perfectly know that. And knowing that game, you wanted to come because that is a game. Every soul before being born, it is perfectly aware of all the challenges on the planet Earth. In spite of knowing the challenges, the soul wants the challenges, and that's why the soul takes the birth. Because only through challenges the soul can evolve. Only through the challenges the soul can expand itself. Only through the challenges the soul will be in a position to experience its own beauty. For example, if you have never experienced the hot sun, you can never appreciate the beauty of a shade of a tree. So to enjoy, you might be under a tree. Your whole lifetime you might be enjoying the shade of a tree, but you will never appreciate. You'll never appreciate the tree unless you go out in the hot sun. Then you appreciate. So we are all in oneness. Before we are born, we are all in oneness. There is no separation. But to appreciate that oneness, to rejoice that oneness, you need separation. You need duality. So we come to the earth to appreciate our own beauty, to realize our own self. So this is the earth is a place of contrast, dualities. So every soul comes to earth for its own rejoicing, for its own expansion, for its own soul evolution. So previously you asked about the soul age. Does the soul has an age? Yes, of course. I'll tell you some of the qualities of the soul age. You will understand in which level you are in. A soul who is born, who has taken very few lifetimes, it's called an infant soul. And an infant soul, the only focus is survival. Eat, sleep, family, kids, take care. That's it. So it's only focused on physical survival because the soul is very new. It has to adjust to the earth conditions. So the focus and the goal of the soul is to survive. Only to survive. That is the goal. No other goal. So that is an infant and a baby soul. And then after taking few lifetimes, the soul becomes a young soul. So the young souls are full of energy. So these young souls, they want to achieve, they want to prove themselves. They are into full of name and fame, ego. They want respect, they want acknowledgement, they want to be the leaders. So these souls normally they become the heads of the religious organizations or political organizations where they want to be the leaders, they want everybody to be controlled, but they use the fear factor to control others. They use power to control others. So these are young souls. So after taking many, many lifetimes in that category, then the soul sees the futility. I say, okay, I have got so much wealth. I have accumulated so much wealth, but my only son died in an accident. So what is the meaning of life? I have so much name and fame, but I don't have my own son to pass on. So what is the meaning of my life? So they start questioning the futility of all the materialistic things. So when they start questioning the futility, then they graduate from a young soul to a mature soul. Now, in the mature soul category, they are no more interested in name, fame, power, wealth, money. They are no more interested in that. They focus on, I want to live a peaceful life. I want to live a happy life. So when they have the desire that I want to live a peaceful life, that moment, their enlightenment journey begins. So then they are no more interested in any other activities. They are more interested in games, arts, music. They go into finer, subtle aspects of life where they are happy. So they take few lifetimes in that mature soul category. So after a few lifetimes, they think, okay, I'm a great musician. I'm happy playing the music. I'm a great cricketer. I'm a great artist. Everything is fine. But why there is suffering on the planet Earth? I want to fundamentally know why there is suffering. Why somebody is born rich, somebody is born poor, why somebody is born healthy, somebody is born with challenges, mental challenges, physical challenges, physically handicapped. Why this disparity? Why such thing exists? What is the meaning of life? So then they are ready to graduate to the old soul category. So in the old soul, they are no more interested in music, arts. They are more focused on, I want to know the truth. So they are more interested in reading books, their spiritual books. They are more interested in listening to the satsang. And their primary focus is to understand life. So that is the old soul. That is the beginning of the old soul. And then towards the end of the old soul, in every category, they take 50, 100 lifetimes. And these stages, in each stage, they take 50 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes. Or they might take 10, 20 lifetimes also. It all depends on their free will. So towards the end of the old soul category, they'll got fed up. They say, okay, theoretically, I know many things, but practically, I have no experience. Theoretically, they would have studied 100 books about reincarnation, karma, but there is no practical experience. They have read many books about life after death, astral worlds, causal worlds. They have read many books. They know a lot of information, but no practical experience. So that troubles them a lot. So that is the stage where they stop doing everything and their focus is on meditation. They want practical experience. They want, theoretically, they know the truth, but that theoretical truth doesn't help them in their life. So they want practical truth. So then they sit for hours and hours and hours of meditation. Okay. So that is towards the end of the world and beginning of the transcendental soul. So after they do very intense meditation for many lifetimes, then they realize the truth, they experience the truth. And after they experience the truth, now they try to live in the middle path. And they try to teach the truth. Whatever the truth they know, they teach the truth. So then they step into the transcendental soul. And the more they do the teaching, the more they do the service, they become an infinite soul, like a Buddha, like a Jesus, like a Guru Nanak. So these are the stages. So from an infant soul, where the focus is only on survival, only bodily survival, that is the focus of the infant soul. So then the next few lifetimes in that stage, then the next lifetime, the stage is one-upship, that they want to be little more than, so their focus is no more on the physical, but their focus is on the mind. Okay, so even in our Indian tradition, we have Tamoguna, Rajoguna, Satvika Guna. So in the first stages of infant soul, baby soul, and young soul, they are Tamoguna and Rajoguna. Young soul is Rajoguna. Baby soul and infant soul is Tamoguna, tamasic. Their focus is only on the physical pleasures. Their focus is only on the physical aspects of life. Rajoguna, their focus is on the mind. Their focus is on power, control, domination, authority, ego. That is Rajoguna. Then, when they become a mature soul, then the Sattvika Guna happens. And when they do a lot of meditation, then they become a Nirguni. So, these are the stages the soul has to go through. Even in Mahabharata, there is a conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. Arjuna says, how can I kill my own uncles? How can I kill my own brothers, cousin brothers? How can I kill my own guru? So Krishna says, Arjuna, you stop speaking nonsense. You don't know anything about the truth. You are speaking from you think you are a great person. You think you know everything, but you don't know anything. You are just a Sattvika Guna. Arjuna was a Sattvika Guni. So he always wants to do the good things. Sattvika Guni. But Krishna is a Nirguni. So Krishna says, unless you become a yogi, unless you become like me, you don't understand what is the truth. So become a yogi. So from a Tamoguna, becoming a Nirguna is the soul journey. And it takes many lifetimes. A lot of experiences are needed. It is like a baby just born and becoming a baby born, and then slowly the baby starts crawling, the baby starts walking, then the baby starts running. Then the person takes responsibility of the life. Then the person leads the life. Then the person masters the life. So similarly, the soul from survival consciousness to becoming an enlightened consciousness, infinite consciousness. This is the journey of the soul. And everybody has to go through that. Every soul eventually has to go through it. It will, and that is the nature of life. Every person at some point of time will be a Ravana, and the same person eventually will become a Rama. Ravana is a Rajoguna person. Rama is a Nirguna. So everybody has to go through that.
So basically, this is limitless. The growth will be limitless. Even for the infinite soul also, there is always more. Being is limitless.
is the definition of infinite. There is no end. There is no beginning. There is no end. Infinite.
So every time we take a human birth, the human condition afflicts us. Every time we take a human birth.
The human conditions are chosen by the soul before it is born. According to the need for the evolution of the soul, it is chosen.
So more
all the conditions are pre-planned. All the conditions are pre-planned, wisely chosen. The parents are chosen. The children are chosen. What kind of a education you need to go through, who you should get married, what kind of a job you should do, what kind of children you need to have. Everything is very carefully, meticulously planned by the soul before it is born.
So the soul is planning its own growth, how it's going to grow the best and the fastest. Is that the case?
Yes, always that is the case.
Thank you, sir.
In the planning stage, it is perfect. But when it comes to the execution, what happens? The soul forgets.
Yes. That's
So,
the human condition.
And that is the game of the planet Earth. So the soul is fully aware that this is the case. So what happens? Meditation is such a tool that the more you do meditation, the more you remember. The more you remember your own soul design, the more you remember your purpose of life. So then your focus is you don't waste time anymore. Then your focus is only towards fulfillment of what you have planned for your own growth. So that's how meditation helps in everybody to be a happy person.
Thank you, sir.
Because then there is no more questions, there is no more doubts. You know, whatever happens for good. You might go through a great financial challenge, but you perfectly understand, hey, my soul has planned it. So your focus is no more on the challenge, but your focus shifts to what lesson I need to learn. Why my soul planned this challenge? Okay, my soul would have planned this challenge definitely for a greater reason. What is that reason? So you will start focusing on the lessons to learn rather than complaining.
So suppose some soul plans a sickness, a serious sickness. So yes. Also this is karma load also, right? The sickness may be karma load too.
See, karma is a fundamental factor. So depending on the karma, the soul plans the lessons.
Right.
Suppose there is a certain karmic accounts to be settled, then based on that karmic accounts, based on that what lesson, karma is nothing but a tool to learn the lessons. You have a karma, that means you have some lesson to learn, as simple as that. Karma is not a punishment. So you have a certain karmic baggage, that means you have certain lessons to learn. So depending on the karmic baggage, the soul chooses and plans the life in a particular way so that the soul can learn the lessons. Simultaneously, the karma is neutralized. The more you learn the lessons, the more you neutralize the karma.
And if we look at the lives of great sages and saints, it is they had very normal lives. Let us say they had very difficult lives also in many cases, most cases. And they never had it easy. Like people think, okay, they just became great one day. They also had to go through a
You don't know how many lifetimes they have taken to reach that stage. Buddha himself said he has taken more than 2000 lifetimes. I can't remember exactly, but he said he has taken thousands of lifetimes to reach that Buddhahood stage.
And these great masters, they come into our lives, they also make a difference. That they're being with them, the great masters, the teachers, being with
Everybody
them.
is great. Everybody is great. You yourself are great. Every single person is great. A 5th standard student is great according to his grade. He is a great. A 5th standard student is a great person. The same, the 10th class is a great person. A PhD is also a great person. Everybody is great according to the level of evolution, whatever they are in. According to the stage of the soul they are in, everybody is great. Some people come in your life to teach you some lessons. It doesn't mean they are great. They are doing it for their evolution. A teacher is teaching for his evolution. A student is learning for his evolution. Everybody's focus is on their own evolution. The teacher is not teaching for the sake of the student. The teacher is teaching for his own growth, because unless he teaches, he cannot progress. Unless he teaches, he cannot perfect the learning. So the primary purpose the teacher appears in your life is for his own self. But eventually it helps the student also. So it doesn't make the teacher a great teacher. The student is also great. The teacher is also great. Everybody is great.
Without teacher, we can grow.
Your teacher is inside you. You are asking a question. Without an external teacher, can I grow?
Yes.
Of course you can grow. You don't need an external teacher. But it complements. The external teacher complements your inner teacher. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we have to understand the word guru. Okay. So many people think they misunderstand the word guru. Okay. Guru comes from the word guri. Guri means focus. Okay. Guru comes from the word guri. Guri means focus or intent or sincerity. We are our own guru. So that means your sincerity is your guru. Your intent, your focus, your sincerity is your guru. That is the definition of the word guru. If you are sincere towards music, your sincerity towards the music will help you to learn the music. So it is your sincerity which is helping you to learn the music. If you want to become a best musician, if you want to become a great musician, then you should have that kind of sincerity and seriousness to put in more practice, to put in more efforts, to practice. Then you become a great musician. So it is your intent to become a great musician. It is your sincerity to become a great musician. That will be the driving factor to become a great musician. Similarly, in any field, whether you want to be a great architect, or whether you want to be a great sports person, or whether you want to be a great meditation teacher, or whether you want to be a great philosopher, anything, whether you want to be a great teacher, doctor, a scientist, in any field, in any profession, without sincerity, you cannot achieve it. Even if you want to earn money, in the physical life, you want to earn money, you should have sincerity to earn money, or else you cannot earn money. If you want to do business, and the businessman has to be so sincere, he should be so passionate, or else he cannot be a successful businessman. So his own sincerity helps him to be a great businessman, to earn a lot of money. Whether it is physical or spiritual, whatever you want in life, you should have guri. You should have sincerity. You should have the intent. You should have the focus. So your own sincerity, intent is your guru. So that is the meaning of guru. So if you don't have the guru, that means you cannot learn anything. So what does that mean? Without sincerity, you cannot achieve whatever you want. So they say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Maheshwara, right? You heard in India, they say this: Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah, right? So Brahma, what is Brahma? Brahma is nothing but creation. Brahma is a creator. And Vishnu represents the sustenance of the creation. And Shiva represents the transformation field of the creation, or reaching the pinnacle of your own creation. So without Guru, there is no creation. Without sincerity, you cannot create anything in life. You cannot achieve anything in life without sincerity. So the word Guru is equal to sincerity. Guru comes from the word Guri. So without sincerity, there is no creation. Without sincerity, you cannot achieve anything in life. Anything you want, you cannot achieve. And whatever you have created, you want to sustain it. Then also you need sincerity. You need greater sincerity to sustain what you have created. For example, you want to learn music. You learn music. And after a while, you dropped out of music. You learn music for 6 months. After that, you dropped out of it. So you cannot sustain. You should need more and more practice to be a great musician. Just for learning for 6 months and dropping it, it's of no use. So without sincerity, you cannot even, there is Vishnu. Vishnu is a representation of sustaining. So without sincerity, you cannot sustain what you have created. And without sincerity, you cannot reach the pinnacle, the Maheshwara stage. So this is the real meaning of Guru. That's why in PSSM says, you are your own Guru, nobody is your Guru. Your intent is your Guru. Your desire is your Guru. But a teacher is Acharya. Okay. But many people confuse the word Guru with the teacher. No, Guru means sincerity. Teacher is Acharya. And a person who teaches, he teaches so that he can learn more. Unless you teach, you cannot perfect it. What you teach is what you need to learn the most. The more you teach, the more you perfect it. So all the great acharyas of spirituality, India is the land of great acharyas. They have taught great lessons because they are in the infinite soul stage. They have to teach. If they don't teach, then again they have to come back one more lifetime to teach. So they are teaching for their evolution. So it doesn't make them any great. Of course, they are doing a great work, but everybody is equally great. Got it, madam?
Thank you so much, sir. You explained it clearly. Jyoti, you want to speak?
Thank
You
you.
had a question?
Yes, I had a question.
Please go ahead.
Sir, I wanted to share my experience of the meditation today. So the first 40 minutes, it was fine. But after that, I was resisting it. I wanted to open my eyes. I was like, when is it going to finish?
So you experienced how your mind works.
Okay.
This is the nature of the mind. The mind doesn't want to be empty. So the very nature of the mind is to make sure you open the eyes. Because when you open the eyes, you are no more in the inner journey. Eyes are the doorways to the outer world. So the very nature of the mind is the mind will create some kind of disturbance to make sure you open the eyes so that you are no more in the inner journey. That is how the mind works. But when you understand that that is the very nature of the mind, then you won't open your eyes at any cost. So the mind will motivate you to open the eyes. The mind will create some kind of frustration. The mind will create some kind of disturbance to make sure you open the eyes. But you don't open the eyes at any cost, then the mind will give up. Then when the minds give up, then you experience your soul. You experience your own bliss. So you have to cross that barrier of mind. So that's why we say, don't open your eyes at any cost till the end of meditation.
Got it. Thank you, sir. One more question. With the soul evolution, how do we explain the soul evolution with the current shift that's going on?
As individually, the soul is evolving. The whole planet Earth is also consciousness. So the planet Earth is also evolving. So it is like, I'll give you an example. Suppose, do you understand the standards in education? Like, in India, they have a state syllabus, central syllabus, and international school syllabus, right? So suppose there was a school which was following a state syllabus, but now they shifted. The management choose to upgrade the school to CBSE, Central Board of Education.
Okay.
State Board of Education, the standards are different. Central Board of Education, the standards are different. So now the school decides, the management decides to shift. Now, but the students have been used to the state syllabus. Now shifting them to the central syllabus will be a little bit stress and burden on the students. So the management cannot change overnight. So what does the management do? They say, okay, we'll give a grace period. So we are going to shift to the central syllabus in 2 years' time. So in 2 years, we'll give extra coaching, extra tuition to all the students. So whoever makes it, they will continue in the same school. So within the next 2 years, the students who cannot make it, then they have to change the school. So they give a grace period. This is how the shift happens within the school. Similarly, Earth was vibrating in the 3rd dimensional frequency. Now the Earth has decided to shift to the 5th dimensional frequency. So the 5th dimensional frequency means nothing but the whole Earth is vibrating with the frequency of love and oneness. 3rd dimension, there is a lot of separation, fear, survival, competition. But in the 5th dimension, there is cooperation. Everybody is vibrating in the space of heart, where there is love, oneness, friendship. That is 5th dimension. So the Earth has decided to shift from 3rd dimensional to the 5th dimensional. So the actual shift, the exact shift happened in the year 2012. December 21st, 2012, the shift has happened. The photon band and the Earth axis has changed. But there is a grace period. The grace period is till 2033. So till 2033, the Earth is shifting and a major shift is happening between 2012 to 2033. So by 2033, the grace period finishes. So after 2033, majority of the people on the planet Earth will be vibrating on the 5th dimension. That means majority of the people will be heart-based people. Okay. So during this shift, a lot of turmoil happens. You see, when the plane is on the ground, the plane is stable. When the plane is on the 40 feet high flying, the plane is still stable. But when it is taking off, there is a lot of turbulence. When it is hitting the clouds, taking off and going from the ground level, reaching till the 40 feet high, in between there is a lot of turbulence. So always during the transition, there is a lot of turbulence. So that's why we see a lot of turbulence, collapse of economies, wars, COVIDs. These are all not bad things. These are all good things which help the people to shift the consciousness. Because of the COVID, it has shifted the consciousness of the people on the planet Earth. People see the futility of materialistic things. It gave an opportunity for the people to step back and see what is priority in life, what they needed most. So these are all the opportunities for the people to shift their consciousness. But not everybody is ready, but slowly the shift is happening. Okay. So the shift will continue to happen till 2033. So till 2033, we are going to see very interesting things on the planet. This is the most interesting time to live on the planet Earth. To see the shift is the most interesting thing. And it's a blessing. See, before, let's say it takes 300, 400 lifetimes for an infinite soul to become an enlightened soul, infinite soul. But now the whole school has decided to upgrade. The whole Earth has decided to upgrade. So now, in the shortest possible time, everybody can reach that stage. Because of the photonic shift, because of the shift in the Earth consciousness, the humans who are living in that consciousness also get the opportunity to shift at a drastic speed. So from a mature soul, we can go into enlightened soul very quickly because of the shift on the planet Earth. Just imagine 100 years ago, just 100 years ago, just imagine if you want to learn meditation. Is it possible? First, you have to find a guru. So it might take 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years, or the whole lifetime to find a guru. And even You find a guru, you reach the guru, then the guru is not ready to teach. The guru will give you a lot of tests to see whether you are a really sincere student. So after the guru gives a lot of tests, then the guru will decide whether to teach or not. 100 years ago. Very rare. 100 years ago, it is very rare to find a meditation teacher. You have to probably go to deep Himalayas to find those kind of teachers. 50 years ago, some books have come, some spiritual books have come, and it is little more easily accessible. 20 years ago, not many people heard about meditation, but people know that meditation exists and there's a possibility. And you can go to ashrams and you can learn. 20, 30 years ago, you can go to some ashrams, you can learn some techniques. 10 years ago, yes, the possibilities have increased. Now, meditation is knocking your doors. The gurus are coming in your WhatsApp. The gurus are coming in your Zoom. I mean, the teachers, the meditation teachers are knocking your own computers, your own home. They are coming to your living room to teach meditation. Can you see the shift? Similarly, 40 years ago, if you want to empty your mind, it takes many years. But now you want to empty your mind, it just takes only 40 days. You be sincere. Every day you do meditation for 40 days. You can empty your mind. You can experience the no thought state. Only in 40 days you can experience. It is because of the shift and the earth consciousness. So this is the time, this is the golden age for all the seekers of enlightenment, where the whole process is speeded up and where there is a lot of light coming from the other dimensions. The stargates are opened. There are a lot of light coming from the other dimensions. If you are sincere, that's enough. Quickly you can manifest. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Next.
Lalita.
Thank you, Rakhi Master. Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you, Pradeep Master. I have a question, Pradeep Master. Like you said, the soul, it depends on the soul's maturity that it decides. Like it's not decide, it's from the experience it gains. It takes so many births, and then we reach to a stage where we say that yes, now we have given up. We have gained experience, and now we just need to go back to the supreme. That's what I've been now.
You don't need to go back to the supreme. That is a wrong understanding. You don't need to go back to the supreme. You are the supreme. You are part of the supreme. Okay. You are that you are.
Okay. So because that was my confusion always. Like see, we said we are from the supreme. We are from the same source. And we take a lot of birth to experience things, and we come here and we forget what we have come for. And now that maybe I don't know how many births this soul has taken, and this birth until few years I was only focusing why am I being like this, why I'm like this. I was questioning about why things are happening to me only like this, and I was sad about a lot of things. But last few years, I've like, now I'm clear with my head that I chose it and I want to experience it. And I want to just not follow the, whatever the, guidance of acharyas, as they say, teachers, and, clear everything and go reach to what, like no birth, like I want to go to the level. If you say, don't say that you need to go back to the supreme, I want to go to the stage where I don't want to take birth. Is that right the way to think, or we should still keep taking birth and experience more and more? It is, I'm in that confusion.
See, you want to go to a stage where there is no birth because you have gone through a lot of challenges. You've gone through a lot of suffering. So you don't want that suffering anymore. So that's why you're saying you don't want birth anymore. But just imagine taking a life is a joyful experience. Do you want it to be the last lifetime?
That is what I want clearance in that, but clarity in that. Like people say, I
See,
don't want.
there is no such thing. There is no such thing like last birth. Okay, there are
Okay.
two categories. One, you will have to take birth again and again until you finish graduation. You will be,
Okay.
you have no choice other than to complete the syllabus.
Okay.
So that is one way of taking birth where you are compelled to take birth. But there is another possibility where you have completed the syllabus. You have graduated from the school. You don't need to come back to the school as a student because you finished the subject. You finished, your graduation is done. You don't need to come back as a student to the school. But you will come back, not as a student, but as a teacher.
Okay. Okay.
So coming back to the same school as a teacher is your choice. It's not compulsion. So there is no such thing like last life. Yes, the last life exists for the student, but for the teacher, there is no such thing like last life. It is a choice. At will, the teacher can come.
Okay.
But the lifetime the teacher chooses will not be of suffering, will be of joy. Because the teacher has no need to come, but the teacher chooses to come for his own joy. Because when he teaches, he feels joy. He gets joy when he teaches. So for his joy, he takes birth, not out of compulsion. But the people who are stuck in the karmic loop, they have to take birth because that is the law. Okay. So if your question relates to whether I'm thinking the right way, that this lifetime should be the last lifetime. So I would say, don't focus on the last lifetime, because there is no such thing like last lifetime. Okay. Focus on, say, I want to realize myself.
Yeah.
I want self-realization. I want to learn as many lessons as possible. I want to live a happy life. Let your focus be on living a happy life. Let your focus be on learning as many lessons as possible. Then your thinking is right.
Yeah. One more question. Like when we say, like, focus on your self-realization, we take this birth for some experience, right? Because the soul has already decided that it has to go through all this and learn all these lessons when you take this birth. So here there are teachers who say that there is no God. You don't have to, do any kind of prayers. You don't need to do any chant. And you can, because you are also a God, so you don't have to do that. Another place they say, they, like you said now, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So I'm a bit confused, like whether to believe in Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, or there is no Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. This confusion is there. One. Another thing is we get into this worldly life. Like
before you go to the second part of the question, let me come to the first part. See, I made a reference to the sloka. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Maheshwara. Okay, so that is a reference to the sloka because the sloka has a meaning, but people misunderstand.
Okay.
See, Brahma represents the creation. Brahma doesn't mean God. Brahma means the aspect of God which represents the creation. Vishnu represents the aspect of God which sustains the creation. And Shiva represents the aspect of God which transforms the very creation into something greater creation. It's a transformational energy, is Shiva energy. So these are all the representation. These are all the aspects of one God. You can call it God or creation or existence or divine. These are different names. Okay. So Hinduism is a way of life where there is no God. Everybody is God. In Hinduism, they pray to trees, they pray to rocks, they pray to animals, they pray to everything in the creation. Because everything is God, right? This is Sanatana Dharma. That is Hinduism. So Hinduism was never a religion. Because for a religion, you need certain teachings, you need a book to be followed, the rules and regulations, what to do, what not to do. Okay, Christianity, Sikhism, Islam, you take any religion, they have a certain set of rules and regulations, what to do, what not to do. They have a guidance. But in Hinduism, no, you are your own guidance. Apodipo bhava. So you have to follow your Swadharma. That is Sanatana Dharma. So in Hinduism, the very way of Hinduism is taking you towards your inner. So that's why Hinduism was never a religion. The word Hindu was not given by the Hindus. The word Hindu is given by the Westerners. Before the Westerners came, the word Hindu never existed. The word Hindu came from Sindhu Nadi civilization. So the Sindhu become Hindu. So you have to understand the gods which you are referring to, they are just the aspects. Okay. You see, that's why in India, when you go to temples in India, I don't know which part of India you belong to originally,
I'm Chennai. I'm in Chennai.
You're in Chennai, yes. So it's a land of temples, right? So you go to all the temples. So there are thousands and thousands of deities there, statues. So you have one god which represents the strength. You have another god which represents wisdom. You have another god which represents discernment, right? There is another god which represents power. So there are many, many gods which represents many aspects. So the temples are built not to go in front of the statue and bow down. No. So when you are doing this, what is this? This namaskara symbol is like, when you are bowing down, you're not bowing down to the statue. You're bowing down to the aspect. Suppose you go to the Hanuman statue. So Hanuman represents strength, right? So when you're seeing that statue, so you reflect that strength within you. So that is not meant to be prayed there. The Hanuman statue is not there to be prayed. The statue is there reflecting, hey, that is the strength you have within you.
Okay.
So that's why you see the ancient temples, which are built thousands of years. So they're all built in the Agama Shastra, where there are no rituals and pujas done in the olden days. All the temples are meant to be a meditation places where even today, even in the today's practice, the people, they do the rounds and rounds around the temple, and towards the end, they sit silently. They say you have to sit silently for some time before you exit.
Yeah.
So this is the very way of life where the people, they go through the energy aspects. In the temples, they plant all the medicinal plants like people tree, neem tree, right? So they plant these medicinal plants where you go around. So you get the fresh energy, oxygen, healing energy. And then all the elements are perfectly balanced. All the 5 elements are perfectly balanced according to the Agama Shastra. And then in that positive energy, you go around, few rounds you round. Then your etheric body gets cleansed and you come and sit quietly. Then it helps you to raise your consciousness and reflect on yourself. And every statue, the moment you go to the temples and see many, many statues, each statue represents the inner strength, the inner beauty, the inner wisdom, the inner knowledge. But unfortunately, the rituals have taken place and people started, instead of reflecting on why they have built the temple in the first place. Temples used to be the energy centers.
Beautiful. Beautifully explained, because all these days, even I used to go to the temple, not knowing why we are doing the parikrama. Just because people are doing it, we are blindly just doing it, not knowing the real reason for it. You really explained it so well. Now, when I go to the temple sometimes, whenever I will now think about what you said, like why actually we are going, and then what is the real reason we have to sit down there, because they say you have to sit down before you leave the temple. So not knowing what, we just sit and chat and then we just leave. Now I know we should sit down and do the dhyan there and to gain the more positive vibes. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, one more question, if there is time, Rakhi, can
Are
I
you,
ask
are
one more
you,
question?
are you clear? Are you clear with this God
Yes,
concept?
yes, I'm very clear on it. Now I'm very clear on it. Like, it's like we are Brahma, we are Vishnu, we are the Shiva, because we create, follow it, and then we destroy it. It's like that.
No, not
I got
destroy. It's not
not destroy,
destruction. It is
not destroy,
transformation.
but transformation. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, again, I used the wrong word. Sorry. It's going to the next journey. Like, so we are everything. But you have just to understand, for people, for layman language, they use these terms so that they will understand what is what, because
Yes.
everybody would not be enlightened. So for a lay person's language, it is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, to understand it properly. So
The
I've got
temples
that.
are created specifically for a layman. The statues are created for a layman, because when a layman see the statue, he can remember it.
Yes.
An enlightened person doesn't need to remember, but only a layman needs constant reminding.
Exactly. So now I've got that concept. So now when I talk to people also, I'll have some clarity to talk, because if I speak something which I myself have questions over it, it will not be possible for me. Now I've got more clarity. Thank you so much. And one more question, Raki, if there is time, can I ask
Please,
one more
please go
question?
ahead.
Yes,
Sangeeta.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you. And as we have taken this birth, we chose, the soul has chosen this and come here, right? So I have confusion, like I am into the meditation, but I'm also living this worldly life. Like I have to follow my responsibilities towards my family and other things which I'm doing. So I get, confused, like, should I do this? Should I not do this? Like every time I do something, like if I question a person who's done wrong, I use harsh words. Sometimes I have to use, and then I feel very sad later on that I should have not done this. I hurt that person. So this confusion happens. If I don't say in a stern way, then things will keep repeating. So that is one question. Another one is
I don't see any confusion there. Where is the confusion there? You meditating doesn't stop in any way doing your worldly duties. In what way meditation stops your worldly duties? Meditation helps you to do your worldly duties better.
Okay. Yeah. But sometimes sometimes I have to talk, like say there are two brothers of mine. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. And one brother is giving us a lot of problems. And then I get angry with him. And then I complain about him to another brother that "वो है ना, मेरा बात नहीं सुनता, he's not listening." It's not, but he's not listening. What decisions he's making is impacting the entire family. I get angry with him and I shout at my other brother that
See, madam, you should understand fundamentally only one thing. Okay. Meditation doesn't mean overnight you become enlightened. Okay. So it takes some time, right? So initially you think like, okay, I'm meditating. I know what to do. I know there should be no complaints. I know there should be no gossip. I want to do the right thing. So theoretically, you want to do all those things. But when it comes to practical execution, you fail. Many times you fail. So that's the time you need more meditation. That's the time you remind yourself, hey, theoretically, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but practically I'm taken over by emotions. So that means I need more meditation. I need to read more books. I need to make friendship with a lot of meditators, positive people. So it is a trial and error. The perfection happens with trial and error. Overnight, nobody becomes perfect. Okay. But your focus is you do your best. That's it. So don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel bad about it, because a perfect person cannot exist on the planet Earth. If you are 100% perfect, you cannot exist on the planet Earth. Because if you are perfect, there is no scope of learning, because you're already perfect. There is nothing to learn. So you cannot stay on the planet Earth. You will exit. So to stay on the planet Earth, you need some imperfection. Even the most enlightened people, they bring in a small aspect of imperfection into them. Then only they can stay in the physical body. Okay. So nobody is perfect on the planet Earth.
And one more question,
So
which was
let me complete.
Okay.
Let me complete.
Sorry.
Nobody is perfect on the planet Earth. So you have to be kind to yourself. Whenever you are going through the self-judgment, self-criticism, okay, you should be very kind to yourself. You say, okay, nobody is perfect. I am also not perfect, but I try to do my best. So in spite of knowing that I should not complain, but I'm still complaining, okay, next time I'll be more aware of it. So for that, I need more meditation. So let me focus on doing more meditation. So let me focus on reading more books. So always, whenever you catch hold of yourself in this kind of a situation where you know that is not right, but you're still doing it. So whenever you catch hold of yourself, that is the time you make efforts to come out of it without any judgment, being kind to yourself. So then naturally with trial and error, you become perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
You become perfect in that aspect.
Okay. Thank you.
But
Thank you so
there are
much.
more lessons to learn. Again, you learn one lesson, there is one more lesson waiting for you. So the life is full of lessons only.
It's experiences, and then we learn. Every day I come back and I say that this happened because I need to learn something from it. What should I learn from this? I recall everything, and then I think to myself, I should have handled it this way, not that way, and this way. And next time when this comes, I should do like this. I do that to myself. So yes, I will try to do more of meditation. One more question. Last class this was. I was waiting to ask, but the time was over. You said about the third eye opening, right? You should not get, even third eye is Maya. Only after that, if the fourth eye which opens is wisdom. So people who can see the visions, right? For them, the third eye is opened. Okay. What for people who don't have any visions at all and they are just quiet and still and in trance? Is the third eye yet to open, or it's already opened and now waiting for the wisdom eye to be open? That was my question last week.
Okay, for the people who don't have any third eye experiences, so that means they have gone beyond it. As simple as that.
Okay.
So that means so you see, third eye experiences are not something to be quantified. You see, it is subjective experience. It is a subjective experience, but it's nothing wrong in it, nothing great about it. It's just an individual experience, but it's a valid experience. You cannot just brush it off saying, oh, they're hallucinating. No, it is a subjective experience. It's a valid experience, and that experience is necessary for their own evolution. But the problem comes when they get identified with it, when they get attached to it, when they start feeling great about it. Then the spiritual ego comes. Then they are stuck. So when people have experiences, it is good. Let them enjoy the experiences, but they should not be attached to it. Let the experience come, let the experience go. They just be a witness. But for the people who don't get any third eye experiences, so that means they've already finished all the third eye experiences in their past lives.
Okay.
That is one possibility. So that means when they're sitting in meditation, they're just going into a no thought state. They're going into a trance state without any experiences, but they are happy in that. Yeah. So that means they've already finished those experiences in their past life. Once you have gone through the third eye experiences, you will never go through it again and again. Okay. So there is no stage that the third eye is closed and the fourth eye is yet to open. The fourth eye is not yet. The fourth eye means awareness. The fourth eye means wisdom. The fourth eye means understanding. The fourth eye means stillness. So the fourth eye means a simple common sense, simple wisdom, where you are able to understand without any visions, without any decoding. The understanding comes naturally from your being. That means you are gone beyond the third eye stage. But for the people who are in the third eye stage, they have to see the vision, to decode, to understand. But a person who has gone beyond the third eye stage, he simply understands without any vision. There's no need. See, only a person who doesn't know how to eat, they need feeding. But a person who knows how to eat, they don't need feeding. Right? So don't be worried about not having experiences.
Okay. That was my last week's question, but it was time up, so I couldn't ask. So I thought, okay, I'll ask it. Thank you so much for all the clarification. I really feel more clear in my head, and I will focus on more of what you said when I go to the
Yes.
temple and when I do my meditation and when I'm having imbalance in my day-to-day life, how to correct it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Probably these days you go to temple, there is more disturbance than peace.
I don't go.
Because
I don't go.
I went to few temples, but I see more people speaking on the mobile phone.
Yeah.
So there is
Photo
no
videos.
place. So today's temples have become selfie places to upload in their Facebook and WhatsApp groups. So if you want real meditative experience, go to nature places.
Yeah.
Go to forests, to mountains, go to nature. Then you can meditate more intensely there.
Thank you. Thank you. Plans are there.
Yes.
Next week,
Thank you very
next
much.
year. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rakhi Master. Thank you, Pradeep.
Thank you, Lalita.
So I think, friends, we have exceeded the time. If you still have any 1 or 2 more questions, happy to take, or if you want to conclude, we'll conclude.
Yes, sir. And tomorrow we will meet again at 9 p.m., sir.
Yes.
You, sir, you just made a comment that the soul gets joy by taking birth.
Yes. If the soul doesn't get joy, why would the soul take birth in the first place? Do you think somebody from the up pushes, hey, go take birth like that? Somebody forces you to take birth? No,
Sir, we just
it is
have
a
to
joy
look,
of the soul.
sir, we just have to look around where the joy is. Where can we see joy these days?
You cannot see joy. That is a problem. The joy is within you. So you cannot see it. You can only feel it. The joy has to be felt, not to be seen.
Human birth, it seems, has become bereft of any joy. Human condition has become bereft of joy, and it's become like mechanical, automatic.
You have to change the optics, madam. You have to change the optics. See, a person who is wearing a rose-colored spectacles, for him everything appears rose. For a person who is wearing a green-colored glasses, everything appears green. So you have to take the glasses and see. Then only you can see the natural beauty. So you have to just empty the mind. When you empty the mind, then you see everything is beautiful.
Yeah, sir, there is a question coming. Do you want to take this question on chat?
Yes.
Or we take it
go
tomorrow?
ahead.
Okay. How to release karma, as we always do karma in our daily lives, because we are adding on to the karma, while we are living.
That is what we've been discussing. Do more meditation. When you do more meditation, you become aware. The awareness increases. So with more and more awareness, you know what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do. So in that way, you don't do more bad karmas. The more you do meditation, the more you will stop doing bad karmas, because your heart will guide you what to do, what not to do. And what about the karmas you have already done in the past lives? So do more good karmas. So do meditation, do more service. That's all. And be a vegetarian. Because if you are not a vegetarian, you are adding up to tremendous bad karma. So becoming vegetarian, doing meditation every day, and then doing a lot of service. These are the 3 things you need to do to handle your karmas. As simple as that. Okay. All right, friends. Thank you very much. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Sab logon ka namaskar. Dhanyavad.
कल फिर मिलेंगे दोस्तों. We had a wonderful session with Pradeep sir. He clarified so many doubts. इनको इतनी knowledge है, पूरा हमारा enlightenment हो जाता है इस knowledge से. So benefiting in a tremendous way. So let us meet each other, sit with each other again tomorrow in Sajjan Sanidhya at 9 p.m. and at 6:30 a.m. Indian time. Thank you so much. आप सबको शुभ रात्रि, शुभ दिन.